Hey there, Bible buddies. I've got another Bible review for you today, and this one is the 1975 edition of the New American Standard Bible, and this particular edition was produced by the World Bible Publishers, so let's go and take a look at it. You can see on the outside here, there is a black cover. Now this cover is a bonded leather. It does have kind of a grain to it, and you can see that there is kind of a very slight perimeter line on the edge here. But again, it's bonded leather, which is essentially just leather scraps that have been glued together. You can see here that there's like this weird kind of creasing going on at the spine, and that's because it's bonded leather. Essentially what will happen is from opening and closing the Bible, this will kind of wear and it'll start to kind of flake off and chip away and just become a mess. I don't recommend bonded leather covers. If you can spring for the real deal, just get at least a genuine leather cover. Bonded leather tends to just do a bunch of nastiness, and you'll see here kind of on the edges and stuff when we get into it. But also have Raymond and Alma Dickerson imprinted on the front cover. Thank you, wherever you are, to your contribution to the channel. If you look on the spine, we have a New American Standard Bible, Concordance, Red Letter Edition, references, and then Riverside 107 imprinted here on the spine. I'm not sure why Riverside 107 is on here. Like I said, it's produced by World Bible Publishers, and there's a different model number on the inside. So anyone's guess here, maybe they were doing a run for some company named Riverside, I'm not sure. There's also 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of rib indications here. They're pressed in ever so slightly. And they're not really raised or anything like that, so just kind of some indications. That perimeter line does continue along to the back as well with that fake leather grain. And then you can see here it does say genuine bonded leather. It's imprinted on the back there. I don't agree with this. I feel like this is probably like a misleading tactic they use because there is genuine leather. And if you're not super familiar with it, you might think that genuine bonded leather is the same as genuine leather, and it is not. Don't be fooled. The bonded leather and genuine leather are two completely different things, and you can kind of see here I'll take a look here, kind of at the top corners there. You can see we're starting to kind of flake away and chip off. Bonded leather just falls apart. So yeah, definitely don't recommend it. But if for whatever reason you come across an edition and it's kind of like your only hope, Luke Skywalker, then I guess it is what it is. But let's take a look at some more of the exterior details here. We do have red and yellow head and tail bands. There's a nice gilt there, very lovely. Very shiny. And we do have a single black ribbon. And it is a nice double-sided ribbon. It's very thick, albeit very narrow. Or not very narrow, just narrow. But it is a nice thick ribbon, very high quality. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the liners. It is a paste-down liner. There is some reinforcing tape here in the center. You can see it's a black synthetic material. Nothing too fancy. I'll show you the corner work there. There is that nice Florentine fillet going down the side. A nice kind of like chain. I don't know, maybe like a little wave pattern. Pretty neat. On the back, it's more of the same. Show you the corners there. And then you can kind of see here at the top how it's chipping just because, from folding the Bible or kind of handling the Bible, the bonded leather, I should say, is chipping there. So you see that kind of stuff at like any of the kind of stress points. It'll start doing that. Again, definitely don't recommend bonded leather. But yeah, let's get into it. So we have our presentation page here with Raymond and Alma listed, apparently gifted in 1983. And you have a blank sheet. And you have your title page, the first one, New American Standard Bible, reference edition by World Bible Publishers. And then you can see the, World Bible Publishers model number there, the BN2. Again, I'm not sure why Riverside was on the outside, but on the copyright page, you have all the runs there of the previous editions of the NASB by the Lockman Foundation and some of their additional information. And then you have your preface, the principles of the translation, explanation of the journal format, and you have your abbreviations that are used and your books of the Old Testament listed in the order of appearance. And you have your Old Testament title page. And then you have Genesis. So go ahead and get you in tight there so you can see the text. And it's a very nice text, kind of standard for the NASB. If you guys aren't familiar with it, the NASB has kind of handled the kind of their layout the same way for the most part. Let's turn the page here so you can get a better look at it. But it has the kind of the books and the chapter numbers associated with each page in the top corners there. You also have the page numbers in the top center. Then this is a center column reference edition, so you have your center column references there. You also have kind of these, I don't want to say like, they're not really chapter summaries. They're, I guess, more like kind of running headers here, very, very brief underneath the chapters. And then the way that the NASB handles paragraph designations, you'll notice are these kind of bold verse numbers there. And that's kind of what indicates that it's a new paragraph. And they'll continue to use that throughout the years, this being an older edition. But yeah, pretty straightforward edition here. We'll kind of chunk through it so you guys can see some more of it. It's a double column verse by verse, if I didn't mention that already. I'll take a look at the poetic settings. It does not appear, I mean, there are poetic settings, I guess, but it doesn't appear that they attempted to kind of even out the lines or anything like that. You can see a whole slew of kind of single word lines there, which always saddens me. I would really prefer that they try and, they would try and do some kind of poetic formatting there, but I guess not for this edition. I'll take a look at the paper, and it is a pretty nice paper. It's not like an indie paper or anything like that. At least it wasn't specified if it is. But the show through is pretty minimal for this era. I'll keep flipping through it. Get to the New Testament right quick. At the end of Malachi, kind of the backside of Malachi there. And you have the New Testament title page. You have the Gospel according to Matthew. And you can see here it's a red letter text. Now this red letter is kind of a weird red letter. It's not really red. I mean, I guess it's red-ish, but it's kind of like I don't know if how well the camera's picking it up, but it's a pretty like, I guess like a deep red, but it's kind of like light in the sense that there's not like a lot of ink. So it's kind of a light, I don't know, like a lightly saturated ink, but it's kind of a dark red ink that they used. It's kind of a nice color. I don't mind it. It's not like the, the vibrant pinks that they've used in some of these editions. Not Lockman, but some of the other editions kind of from this time. So let's go ahead and get to the end here. See if there's anything unique. So we have the end of Revelation here. You have a blank sheet, a couple blank sheets for some notes. Then you have the New American Standard Concordance. I'll zoom in here so you guys can see. The New American Standard has always had a decent concordance. So I would imagine the majority of this is going to be your concordance. Yeah, there we go. So that's all the concordance. A pretty good chunk. And then we have the maps. I'll show them to you. And these are kind of on a thicker paper, not quite a cardstock, but it's definitely thicker, and it is a map paper. So it would be easy to write on. Not that this would be the easiest thing to write over. And these colors are pretty, I don't know, off-putting. Yeah, good term for it. Yeah, they're kind of I don't know, it's a weird color choice. Reminds me of like 1980s cartoons or something, kind of a ball of color. And a little crowded. Look at this. Oh, let's take a look at this last one here. You can see how much information I have kind of jam-packed in there. At the end, we just have the end of the kind of a liner there, the flyleaf liner kind of deal, and that's it. Pretty simple Bible. I guess it's got, center column references, and it's got a concordance at the end and some maps. Let's go ahead and use some measurements in case you guys run across one of these World NASB 95s. It's 95, 75. Goodness, 20 years before that. All right, so the cover measures in at 8.5 inches tall by about 5 and, what is that? A little more than 3/4 of an inch wide. By about 1 inch and 1/8 thick. Take a look at the text. Start with the capitals. We'll use the H and his. It's about like an 8 point. Maybe maybe 8.25, because it's a little bigger than 8, a little smaller than 8.5. Let's take a look at the lowercase. We'll do the M and made. And the lowercase seems to be about an 8.5. So I would say an 8.5 point font all around. Yeah, not too shabby. If you guys have any questions, Bible buddies, please by all means leave them down below. Otherwise, if you could like, comment, subscribe, all that cool YouTube jazz. Until next time, bye.